Hello, everybody. My name is Kim Ross-Hollingsworth, and I'm the founder of the Arts and Authors Extravaganza and Book Builders Academy, where we provide a platform for authors and artists to showcase and sell their work. And we teach new and current authors how to write, publish, and and tonight I have my podcast. It's called Arts and Authors Talk. And this is where we get a chance to meet and talk to authors and artists that has either graced the stage of the Arts and Authors Extravaganza or that I've come in contact with, and I would just like to find out more information about them. And tonight we have a special guest. Normally we have a lot of authors that come on, but tonight we have a special guest, and she's an artist. And I'm not sure if she wrote a book yet since we last talked, but I will get a chance to dig a little deeper and find out. But anyway, I thank you all for coming on. For Miss Carla, then please put the comments in the comment section and we'll be sure to answer those questions for you. But meanwhile, I would like to introduce to you Mrs. Carla. Let's see, I'm going to bring her on. Carla, is it Helene?
Helene.
From Marjorie Rose Quilts. Did I pronounce it right?
You did.
Hey.
Thank you. Hi. Thank you so much. It's so
How you doing?
I'm great. How are you?
I am doing well. It's such a pleasure to have you on the show.
Thank you. It is such an honor to be here. I'm truly, truly grateful.
Well, I thank you so much. Now, can you tell everyone that's out there, and we're recording on several different platforms,
Okay.
and it's also going to be recorded on YouTube. So if anybody goes to the Arts and Authors Extravaganza page, they'll see this video once again. But tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, my name is Carla. I am a New Jersey resident. I have two children who are grown. I have a new man. I am excited about, like just doing life together. And
Yes.
I am a realtor and I am a quilter and I own a business called Cahiz Wear that makes satin line accessories, satin line hats for curly hair. So that's a little about me. There's a lot about me.
Well, I got curly hair today.
And stuff, always trying to do something. So
listen, as long as it's positive, you can do whatever you want.
I agree. I
appreciate it. That's a wonderful thing. Yeah. Now, when I first met you, you actually came to one of the Arts and Authors Extravaganzas, and you had the most beautiful work that I've ever seen. No, really, for real, you did. And I was like, oh my goodness, I want to, I don't have a chance to go around to everybody and to actually purchase from everybody at the time. So because it's so chaotic, it's so busy, yeah. I'm running around like a chicken. But can you tell us a little bit of how you got started and what, and why you decided to do quilts?
Okay, so quilting was not on my radar. Just being completely honest. Growing up, I could not cut a straight line. I'm left-handed, and I didn't even know there was a such thing as left-handed scissors until I was an adult. So it was like, this crazy, Carla can't cut. She can't draw a straight line. She can't color inside the lines, none of it. So I was always kind of like, I guess, a rebel, if you want to call it that, whatever. Yes. So I was teaching classes at Joann Fabrics and I was their education coordinator. And one of the instructors had me doing some demos of her class. So I was doing that and it was rag quilts, which to me was safe quilting because there was such a huge room, margin for error. And it didn't really take a whole lot of, precision, which I'm very much a go for it and then figure it out later.
Exactly.
So that's just me. So I was very sloppy in the work and, they weren't pretty, my quilts, but they were made with love and, so one of my other quilting instructors said to me, you should try quilting for real. And I thought that was a joke, like, yeah,
Right.
okay, me quilting. I can't cut straight. Everything with quilts, and the only quilts I'd ever seen were Amish and, like those traditional, very old
Right.
quilts that are all like,
Yeah, that's what I was used
yeah.
to.
I didn't know that quilts could be beyond that. I had no idea. So anyway, so I came to one of her classes because she's like, I'll show you. And I'm like, well, I hired you. I guess you kind of know what you're doing. So if you can teach me how to cut a straight line, you're a goddess. So I went to her class, and within 5 minutes I was cutting straight because she gave me the right tools. And I kind of like dug it and, made some sloppy quilts. Cause again, I'm just jumping in and just doing it. Right. Well, through going to stores, picking up materials, buying a really nice sewing machine, you kind of get into the circle and meet other people who do what you do. Cause you're in the space, you have to be, to get your fabric, all of those things. And I met these amazing women from Massachusetts who were connected to some amazing quilters all over the Eastern Seaboard. And so one of the things that they did was we friended each other on Facebook, and one of them invited me to this block of the month thing that they were doing, which is one of the things that we do in like crafting circles. You do like a block of some sort, one a month. Like a group, you do this and it takes like a year or whatever. So this was a Halloween block of the month, and it was like, or maybe it was a block of the week. I don't know. So I did it, and it was the first time I had ever been exposed to applique quilting.
Oh.
And, I didn't think I was going to be able to do it. It was, they were like, you have to cut these shapes. And I'm like, okay, I just learned how to cut a straight line. Like, you're asking a lot to have me cutting out different shapes, whatever, by eyeball or whatever, with different fabrics. And I was like, this is really new to me. I'm not sure how this is going to work. So, I was like, fine, I'll try it. Cause I was like in this mode of, we're going to say yes. We're just going to say yes and just explore. Cause you never know what yes.
That's right.
Thick.
Never know.
So I did the first block, and it was a really cute owl that I wish I had it out. I would have shown it to you. It was a really cute owl, but it was like really hodgepodge, but it was adorable. And I did it, and it was super easy, and I really enjoyed it. To a point of I was like, why was this so much fun? Like it was like I cut weird shapes, and then I just kind of like stuck them back together again. And I was like, I don't have to cut straight lines. I can kind of break the rules.
Right.
My grandmother was a seamstress in a sweatshop for 45 years. So sewing was like in my blood, growing up, watching her, being near her in her space when she was doing these sewing, when she was doing all of these, you absorb more than you think you do. And so when I sat down at the sewing machine and I was like, all right, I really want to try to be precise with what I'm doing and artistic with what I'm doing, it just kind of took over. And from then on, it was like, oh my God, I don't want to do anything else. I literally like stopped knitting because I do that with my business. I stopped crocheting. I stopped pretty much. I almost kind of like stopped writing. Like everything stopped because quilting became like everything. It was the most amazing thing to me. And it was the strangest thing too, because again, to fall into something accidentally and go completely in love with it is amazing and a little scary because you're like, wait, when's the other shoe gonna drop? So
now how many years have you been doing it, you said?
I literally started in 2019.
Really?
So yeah, I had never quilted before, didn't really even sew. Like I went to Joann's as a knitting instructor because I was buying yarn, and the manager was like, hey, you like yarn, what do you do? And I was like, I knit and crochet, I have a business. And he's like, we need somebody. And from there, so like going into like artistically, I didn't even know that I had that in me. Like when people say, hey, you're an artist, I'm like, okay. Like
exactly. Doesn't it stun you when they say, you're an artist, but they don't realize that? Well, I tell people all the time, art is everything.
Yes, it
everything.
is.
Anything that you do, there's an art to it.
Absolutely.
So some people wouldn't even think knitting is an art.
It can be. Like,
but it
I
can be.
believe it's not I believe it's like knitting is wearable art.
Yes, it is.
So anything crafty, I'm really here for it. So it's
And
like,
you can design it however you want.
yes, yes, just like explore, make it up as you go. If it doesn't
That's
work,
it.
it didn't work. It's art. It's not science. It's art. It's
I agree.
made to be enjoyed. That's the whole point.
That's it.
That's
Now,
it.
do you have a certain aesthetic? Like, is there only certain things that you do, or, you know,
So
colors that you use?
in general, okay. So in general, I love quilting like people, but like
Mhm.
silhouettes of people. I kind of remove faces. I don't really do a lot of actual detailed faces, and that's
Yes.
on purpose because I want people to be able to place themselves
Ooh.
in it if they're so inclined. I don't want there to be like a feature that pulls them out or makes them say, "Oh, she was going this way." I want people to like kind of see themselves. But then beyond that, most of what I do, like probably 99% of what I do, focuses and centers on people of color and trying to center us in a positive light. So like
Wow.
you'll see like my art will be like, I have one inspired by Billie Holiday. It's called Curtain Call. And it's just a Black woman standing on a stage. And it's very
Wow.
simple, it's a simple concept, but it's just like this is positive. Like we can be
Yep.
in a spotlight in a positive way. It doesn't have to be negative. Like, we were seeing so much of in the news, especially around like 2020 with everything
Yes.
that was going on. So like I'll do a lot of my skin tones will be like actual skin tones. I don't do like white or what or no.
Right.
Sometimes I'll do black because I like the absence of color. Well, actually black is all colors, but you know what I mean?
Yes.
Like
Yes.
removing and using it as negative space to be like these are still people, but like it's a soul. I don't know. Like I put
I
all
get it. I get it. I love it.
so like when I look at my art sometimes I go back and I'm like, oh wow, I didn't even see that before when I designed it. I'm like, or I find something later or someone said something later and I'm like, yeah, that's in there, but I didn't even see it was in there
Yes.
when
Well,
it
that's the whole, I guess that's the best part about being an artist. Um, you can design something, but everyone can get something different from it.
true. Oh, I love
Especially
that about it.
since
I
but yeah,
love like it hits people differently.
differently. Just
Things
like poetry, just like
yes,
writing books, they all get something, they all develop their own perspective.
yes. Like we see the world from our own perspective, like from
Yep,
the filter and colored through our
that's
experiences.
it.
And that's exactly how we see art too. Like when we're
I
looking
believe it.
at artwork, we're not seeing it as the artist painted it. We're seeing it as we experience it. Like it is
Yes,
it is from a baseline of everything that we have been through up
I
until
agree.
that moment. So when we see art, no matter what the medium is,
Yep.
like to me art should evoke something, whether it be love,
Yes,
whether it be admiration, hate, anger, no
I
matter what,
agree.
sadness, whatever it inspires in you. Hopefully when it does, it is inspiring that because it is touching something in you,
That's
something
it.
it like evokes something in you or brings up a memory or something.
I
Does that make sense?
agree.
you know
It makes sense. It really does. Now,
yeah.
have you ever decided to write a book, or
So
have you
yeah.
done poetry?
Listen, but one of my taglines in real estate is I am a grown-up version of the girl who talked too much in class. If you haven't met me in person, I mean, just watching this video, can you not tell that that's who I am? So, of course, I
Yes,
have so much to can say all the time. I never know when to shut up. It was a real
it's
challenge.
okay.
Real estate. I was like, I should listen, not talk. So anyway,
Nope, this is all about you.
so yes, I do have several books in
Wow.
the works, but it's not like I've got a couple that I've actually started. But it's more like I have to figure out what exactly I want to say because I have so much that I want to say that
Yes,
I like just from life, from my experience. Like I feel like I'm here on this planet to help.
yes. Me too.
However, yeah, like however that translates,
That's
I'm
it.
here to help. I want to help. So in doing so and in being so, I'm open to whatever. And I've lost track of the question because again, I talk. So what I'm writing. Yes, like I'm here to help. And I hope that in some small way, when people meet me or when they read like even my feeds, like my social feeds, I try to like even more so as I get older, try to be as authentic as I possibly can.
Yes.
And I hope that when those books begin to actually come to fruition, because I feel like they're being written now, even though I'm not writing the
Yes,
words,
they are.
they're being written because my story is evolving every day.
Yes.
As I grow and change, I'm like I have like chapters in my phone. Literally, like I'll write notes to
What?
myself. It's like chapters in my phone of like these are letters to myself or
Oh,
memoirs,
I love that.
my kids, or or just
I love
to
that.
someone else who may be struggling like I have in the past.
Yes.
It's just like encouragement to keep going.
And it will help someone because,
I
you know, when I wrote my first book, as long as it touched at least one person, I know that I've done my job.
exactly.
So that's why I, as the founder of the Arts and Authors Extravaganza, I always encourage everyone, even if you have a business, you need a book.
Yes. I think that's
You
a
do.
very, very good
And
point.
yours is 2 books because your first book could be about life. And then the
Mhm.
second book could be, well, actually 3, your quilts and your artistry. And then the third one is your real estate. Mm.
Mm. Hey, the real estate is so much fun. It's
Yes.
my jam these days. I feel like again, I fell into it and it's like everything. Like I feel like my entire life I lived, all of my experiences that I've lived, everything that I have done has brought me to this moment
I
and
believe it.
prepared me not just for the real estate, not just for the art, not just for
Everything
the entrepreneurial,
as a whole.
business, mindset or whatever. I
That's
feel
it.
like it's given me so much to draw from. I've had to, you don't know how strong you are until you have to be strong.
That's
Like
right.
I've grown so much even in the last couple of years that man, I probably have, truth be told, probably like 5 or 6 books ready. Like
Wow.
I could probably sit down and just write. And I guess I need to just get
Well, when you start and when you want it published, come to me. I'll help you get that first
absolutely.
book
I
published.
will take you up on that. So I'm probably gonna call you next week because now it's
And if
like,
I can't help you, I have a team that can.
well, all right, sis. All right.
But yes. Now, I have a question for you as far as the quilts.
Yes.
What do you use? Do you go and pick out the colors or do you dye fabric or what do you do?
So I am strictly a pick out the fabrics on the shelf and bring them home.
Ooh,
But like I usually, for me, it works actually like 3 ways. So one way is I'll feel inspired and I'm like, I need these colors. I need this kind of a fabric. And I will go to the stores and I will scour or whatever and find that fabric for that specific project. Another way is I will have fabric, like I have stores of fabric. Like what you can't see is this table that my computer is sitting on. I kind of
yes.
built it out of bookshelves, lined up different
Wow.
ways, and there is fabric just lined up all over, and all
Wow.
around it. So I have a decent stash, not as much as some quilters who have
Right, right.
walls of it, but I have a decent stash of fabric already that I can choose from, and sometimes that will inspire it. And then thirdly, a lot of times it'll be like the texture. I'll get
Wow.
inspired by a texture if I'm walking in a store and I see like a color pattern or I feel a texture. I'm very tactile, so like if I touch fabric and I feel it, and it just kind of like speaks to me,
Wow.
I'll pick up a yard or 2 or 10. Have it in, like literally I've done it before. I have like, and then I'm like, I'm gonna be using this fabric until I die, until I get to the end of it, and then I'm like, oh, I need more because I'm out,
Yes.
and it was my staple. So
Oh my
that's
goodness.
how I get my fabrics, and
So do you envision something first? Do you just go and you want or like a certain thing and you just get it and then you think of what you're going to make? Or
uh,
do you like how does that work?
It really depends on the project. It could happen any kind of way. Sometimes I will be in one of those altered states, and it comes like I get very inspired, and I'm like, I gotta go quilt. Like I'll be like talking to Henry, and I'm like, oh wait, be right back. I gotta go. I gotta go. Sometimes, like when I wake up early in the morning, I'm very clear, and a lot of times ideas that I've been like tumbling around in my head just kind of snap together. Like it's like it focuses, and I'm like, oh, now I can do this. Sometimes I get like an image in my head, and I have to sit down and draw it out first on a sketch pad, and then I bring the images to life with fabric. You know, kind of it comes in many different ways. It just depends on how I'm feeling or how it strikes me at the moment.
Well, that was interesting. Hey, Tabitha, how are you?
Hi, Tabitha.
It's because it always, I know how authors work.
Okay.
But it's interesting to find out what's in the minds of artists, And speaking of that, I met you through Quentin Green.
Yes. Me some Quentin.
Right? Everyone loves Quentin. Quentin is like the man. And what I like about him is he's an artist, but he's not a selfish artist.
No, he is. Oh my Lord. He is not. He could teach us all a thing or two about, promoting others and preferring your brother or sister and helping out and just being a team player. Like
exactly.
I thought I was.
That's why I love Quentin.
Ooh,
because
phenomenal. He so many doors for me. I gotta say.
Oh, I believe for a lot of you, like the artists. I'm geared towards the authors mainly, but he brings me all the artists. And that's what I love about him. And he's not selfish. That's what I love about him.
He is not.
Him and his wife, they've been coming to the Arts and Authors Extravaganza since the very beginning. He has a permanent seat.
With good reason. They are good people.
Yes, they really are. He probably like, I ain't want her to say that.
I tell him all the time, I'm like, I'm so glad that I know you. I'm so grateful to like have met you. And
yes, but he likes texture, and that's when you mentioned texture, that's what made me think of him.
He inspires me. His art inspires me a lot. So one of the things also you'll see in my art, and it's honestly watching his art helped me to kind of like focus in on it, like really realize, oh, this is my voice in fabric. This is what my voice sounds like in fabric. He does a lot of like primary colors,
right?
And I found that I love, one of the reasons why I do a lot of fabric, work with Ankara fabrics is because they are bright and they have to me, like they say so much with the bright colors and the patterns and the loud, like, they're very loud. But I love putting them against like either a white or a black, some kind of a neutral palette, and like like a negative space or a void, and then these bright colors just popping out.
I love it.
And I kind of got that from Quentin. Like I realized my art aligns with his very, very well. Like that's why we do so many shows together.
I have several of his pieces.
Yeah. So his art very much inspires me. So.
Yes, it does. Well, I'm glad, and hopefully you'll be able to come to this year's Arts and Authors Extravaganza, so we can see some of your new pieces.
Absolutely.
Because I don't even know, like, I can't remember what year you came out. We're celebrating our 12th year now.
So it would have been 2020. I think, right. We were in
not 2020.
Lockdown, so it would have been 2019. It would have been when I first.
2019.
No, it would have had to be 2021 because I had only made a few quilts. I hadn't started really quilting until 2020. So it would have been 2021 that I would.
Wow, that's amazing. Yeah. So now you have a bunch, I guess.
I do. I have a much bigger collection.
I can't wait.
Last one hasn't sold. Thank you, Tabitha.
Oh, hold on. What did Tabitha say?
You just said congratulations.
Oh my gosh. Hey, Anita. There's another artist. Plus, she's an author.
Hey.
And I know, right? It's amazing though, because I like some of her artwork. I think she gave me a couple of pieces of her work, but they were blue.
Okay.
So you said you work with a lot of bright colors.
I
Is
do.
there a certain amount of colors that you always work with, that you
No, it just depends on the project. It really depends on what I'm inspired to do. So,
nice?
sometimes I'll do like one color palette, like all blues, for
Yes,
instance, and
of
it'll be,
course.
or like two colors. But in general, like if I'm doing a quilt that's going to be like a bed quilt or something, I usually won't do a ton of colors. I'll
Yes.
pick like a theme. I try to, unless it's a rainbow, which would be the theme. But
Nice.
if it's a piece of art, it really just depends on, the piece itself. It depends on what,
Wow.
what I'm trying to
Now, do
accomplish.
you have a piece anywhere around you that you can
Oh,
show
yeah,
everyone?
sure. So for Christmas, I grabbed a
You know I was going to ask.
for Christmas this year. I wanted to do something small because I was like super busy. But you gotta have something for the season. So I made
Yes.
a Cara
Oh,
Christmas tree. It's just a little,
that's so
these are all like
pretty.
fabrics that were I've saved from different projects. I used to sell head wraps and such. So this is one of the things that I had made. And I was
Nice.
working on one of my clients is pregnant and she's having a baby girl. So hopefully she won't see this. But
Oh,
it's
now that's cute.
I can't tell where the thing
Yep,
is.
I see all the way down to it looked like a tabletop with a
Yeah.
lamp.
So it's the
That's so pretty.
princess, but it's a princess of color because
Yes,
it shouldn't only be the princess and the frog, that gets
true,
the credit. You know what I'm saying? Like
true.
so and then like I have a couple of charity quilts that I was working on. I go to a quilt circle
Okay.
every month, or I try to get there. I don't always get there every month, but I try to get there, out in Newtown Square. And
Yes.
they do charity quilts and such. So I'm working on a
Oh,
couple of those as well that are just, blanket quilts. And, you know, um,
that's
I,
well, I like it.
yeah,
And Anita,
I'm
oh, go ahead.
currently hanging in the one of the Long Branch galleries.
Yes.
They have an exhibit for Black History Month. So it's ending, I think, on Sunday. I'm not entirely sure, but
Oh,
it's ending
really?
Sunday. But there were a whole bunch of Quentin's got some art in there too. And so
I
they said
think
they
he
hung
sent
up.
me something on it. He
Yeah.
did,
Yeah.
but I
So
was out of town.
yeah. So there's that. So, but I don't
That's
have
sweet.
I have a bunch of stuff. They're all over the place. So
That's so beautiful.
those are
Well,
some pieces.
Anita just said art is therapy for my soul, and I believe it because I
It,
love looking at art. I
Mhm.
have several pieces from different artists around my house.
Mhm.
My daughter's an artist, and it's just it's amazing just to see. And like you said, most of the time they can draw something or somebody can make something, but it's what we see and how it affects us and what's
Yes.
in our heart that
Yes.
makes us really go to that particular piece. I love
Agreed.
elephants, I love clocks, I love coffee. And Quentin always, I think he knows me so well, he always have a piece that has one of those items in it. So he
He's
knows
a
I'm gonna
very
buy it.
smart businessman, I will say. Quentin is an incredibly smart salesperson.
So now everybody else knows too. So, but
Elephants and coffee, got it.
but I just love art. I love art, and I'm not an artist, so I'm going to stay in my lane. I'm never going to make anything. But actually, you know what? I did make something.
I think everyone is an artist. I think everyone is a singer and everyone is a dancer. You may not do it well
No,
according to other people's standards, but please
everybody
do
sings
what you
singer. I can't sing a lick.
do. It's about the
I won't be
motivation.
singing. I would
Doesn't
not
matter if
be
you hold the
singing.
shit in a bucket. It's about the motivation. Have fun, enjoy, sing in the rain and dance, and just don't get pneumonia.
I'll dance by myself. I'll sing in the shower, but I'm not going to do it in public.
No, everyone's a singer.
Well, I just like the fact that you came on, you shared with us. What do you have coming up next or in the future?
So I know I have an exhibit at the end of the year. I think I'm the December artist for Studio 67 in Medford. I think I'm the December artist. Please forgive me if that's wrong. So that's coming up as far as quilting is concerned. I have a lot of, I'm working on curating a couple of exhibits up at Langhorne Players in Newtown Square. They are, for their season, we're trying to coordinate some art pieces to come in and like artists to come in. So that's something that we're going to be advertising soon as well. You know, and then just working the real estate and designing my next collection for Kahi's wear, because you know that's a seasonal thing. And we are in our off season. We are closing down for the season, and we you know we're like September through February basically, because it's winter hats. So I'm going to be designing that collection and going into production on that. So yeah, lots of fun.
Now, is there any way you can put? Yeah, it is. It really is. Is there any way you can put some of those dates in the comment section when you get a chance and where they're going to be held?
Sure.
That way, if there's anyone who want to come out to support you or purchase something from you, they'll be able to do so.
Well, thank you. I'm trying to figure out how to comment. It's not allowing me to have any issues.
Are you on Facebook as well?
I am. I can go on my phone.
Because if you can go on YouTube or you can go into Facebook, you'll be able to see it. I'm sharing it to your page right now too, so that you'll have it.
Beautiful. Thank you. Let me switch pages. Let me go into Marjorie Rose. Here we go.
That way. Oh, shucks. Yeah, I'll be able to share it to you. But or you can grab it off my page.
I can get it here.
Oh, shucks. Yeah, I'll be able to share it to you.
We're gonna mute that so it doesn't just distort or whatever. So it is Studio 67 in Medford, and I believe. Sorry, that was supposed to be a return. I believe that's in December.
Okay.
2023. Studio 67. And then yes.
Oh, I was going to say, is that the Studio 67 that Quentin was talking about? Okay,
yes,
so I have that information as well.
Yes. And then the Long Branch, I don't have their address. I don't, but that one's ending.
We'll put it later.
Yeah, that one is ending this weekend, I believe. So I will have to get that information for you because I don't know it offhand. I'm so sorry.
Okay, no, you're fine. You are fine.
Yeah. So because
it's just interesting, and once you get your books done, that'll be great too.
Yes, because I think I have to do a quilting book first, and like block by block of my life or something. I don't know, like
that sounds nice. Interesting.
Come up with some kind of catchy phrase or something.
But yes, now if there was anyone who was interested in starting quilting or any type of like anything that you do, like as far as artistry comes in, how would you suggest they start, or what would you suggest that they do?
So it depends on the craft. I am mostly self-taught in all of my crafting. So there are YouTube videos which are like how-tos and such. No, really, like that's where I learned.
YouTube will teach you everything.
University is the bomb. But then like go spend time in the craft stores.
Yes.
Talk to people. Like I mean, don't be a creep about it, but legit, like I will be I will be in the yarn aisle in Joann Fabrics or in one of the mom and pop stores or someplace,
Yes.
and somebody will walk up and they'll have like a really pretty, yarn, or they'll ask me because I look like I belong there, because I will stand in the aisles for like an hour looking at yarn, and they'll be like, "What do you think about this?" And we strike up a conversation, and from there it just kind of grows, and I learn, what's your craft? What do you
Right.
do? And I learn different techniques like that or whatever,
Mhm.
talk to people, talk to other
Yes.
crafters, go to places where you see, crafters happening, like art shows, like authors and artists, like
Yes.
we hang out there.
Exactly. Have you ever decided to make clothing
I
other than just your hats?
I did make clothing for a short while. It is not my passion.
Mhm.
I'm not very good at it. So,
I tried it.
yeah, like I like, if there's something that I'm not good at, I kind of don't do it. Like, I mean, unless I'm
Yep,
really passionate about it, then I'll practice.
that's
But
right.
clothing is one of those things that requires a precision that I don't have the patience for. Um,
Yes.
if I can't, have it ready in an hour or two, I probably won't do it. So that's why, like, I like art quilts too, because they
I
can
agree.
faster usually than like a
Yes.
blanket that requires tiny little pieces and corners and all of that precision. So
Oh gosh. Well, is there anything else you would like to share with us before we go?
I am just so grateful to be here. I am grateful for the people who have tuned in. And for you, for the opportunity. Like, you know, I now know that I am on a timeline for my books.
Yes, yes, yes,
And I now
definitely.
know who to contact when it is time to release them, because that's
That's
when they,
right.
yeah, so I'm just so grateful to be here, and I am so thankful for this opportunity, Kim. Thank you.
Oh, anytime. Well, I'm just glad we had a chance to catch back up.
Yes,
And
and we're going to
I
do it in
found out
person next.
what happened.
We're going to do it in person next. I
Oh,
will
yes,
see you soon. I
definitely.
can't wait for the first
Definitely.
one.
I
So,
know, right? And then, like I said before, as far as the Arts and Authors Extravaganza, we're celebrating our 12th year at the Doubletree, which
okay.
used to be the Crown Plaza in Cherry Hill.
Okay.
And that's that's going to be like our fourth year, I believe, having it there. And
When?
that's going to be August 21st from 3 to 8 p.m.
I will be there. Let me
And
put my calendar
I
right
will have the information. Actually, the information is on this post.
now. Okay.
And hopefully we can have you come out. We need more artists to come out. We have a lot of authors, but it's called the Arts and Authors. So artists and authors. So we need more artists to come out just to share your work. And like I said, there's a lot of people who are interested in art, but they just don't know where to find it.
Very true, especially from us. Like, we're not in
Exactly.
all those spaces all the time.
Exactly.
Professional spaces that
That's
are
right.
established. We have to,
I
start somewhere
agree.
and help each other out. So I
I
have a couple
agree.
artists that I want to introduce you to, as a matter of fact. So
Oh, that's a great thing.
yeah,
Listen, bring them all.
I
We
will.
need
I
some
will.
artists.
Hmm.
And we have that coming up. That's like the major event every year.
Okay. I will
Some
be
people say
there.
have it twice, but no, no, no. We can't have it twice. It's too much.
Well, I will be there
But
this year. I can't wait.
oh, thank you
Can't
so
wait.
much.
Yes.
But thank you all for watching and your questions and comments. Um, if there's any other questions or comments that you want to ask Carla, just make sure you post those there, and either Carla or myself will be able to answer those questions for you. Otherwise, I thank everybody for tuning in. I thank you, Carla.
Thank
Congratulations
you.
to everything. Keep
Thank
up the
you.
great work. And we're definitely going to catch up. We're
Yes, we
definitely going to
are.
catch
Yes, we are. And we're gonna have to go get some coffee.
up. That's right.
Become one of your
Starbucks. I'm
favorite
sorry
fast.
for the
Oh, no, no,
Dunkin'
no,
Donuts people, but
no, no. We're gonna go to some of the like little mom and pop shops. There's some
that would be
really
nice
good
too.
ones. There's some really good ones right around here too.
Well,
So
you have to introduce those to me.
done. Done, sis.
But I thank you all so much for watching. Thank you Carla, whatever. Oh, you know what? Before we go, let me tell you, our next person is Tahisha Williams. I had the page. Tahisha Wells is going to be March 6th. So she's going to be joining us. She's an author, and I can't wait to see you all. So we'll see you back on March 6th. But thank you so much. Make sure you like, subscribe, and comment on the YouTube channel. Thank you. Thanks, Carla.
Thank you.